Dr. Burr, what do we do out here where we're in California, we have these crazy wildfires and the air quality is just really bad? What do you recommend that we do?
Unfortunately, my understanding is it's difficult to leave the area. And as it is difficult to leave the area in the middle of a coronavirus pandemic, what are the measures? Reduce to an absolute minimum your exposure to poor quality air. Stay indoors and have a dedicated area of your house where the air quality is maintained. Have filters, have your air conditioning system, or whatever that you can think of to give you a supply of air that is of good quality, less particulate matters suspended in the air. Those are the only measures you can take. And I have a special plea for people with acute severe asthma, chronic obstructive airways disease, and other ailments of their cardiac nature, is reduce your exposure to poor quality air. It's very important because it may trigger acute severe asthma in somebody. It may trigger an obstructive airways disease worsening, or in some cases, we also have heart attacks. So we have identified very clearly that whenever the air quality goes down due to excessive amounts of particulates in the air, the incidence of heart attacks, asthma attacks, and worsening of chronic obstructive airways disease increases, and we see them all in our emergency admissions.
What happens to people that have to go out? Like, what kind of mask should they be wearing that could help with the particulates?
Well, you can wear high quality masks. The trouble with the high quality N95 masks and beyond is breathing is not so easy with those HEPA filter type masks. So you've got to balance it with being able to breathe properly, especially in a warm, hot place. You can't have labored breathing. So if you really need to go out, you go out in your car, windows shut, make sure that you're not intaking poor quality air through your car, and keep your exposure outdoors to a minimum. I appreciate it is unavoidable, but you could wear a reasonable quality mask and have short exposures only.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because the quality all throughout the Bay Area is just so bad right now. How about healthy individuals? Obviously, you've talked about people that have heart issues and lung issues, but for a healthy individual, should most of those people kind of be okay?
No. You just don't want to be exposed to poor quality air because it's full of microscopic and smaller nanoparticles, even particles. And all these particles are going to be ingested and find their way into your lungs. And then your lungs will have to work very hard at trying to eliminate it. So you want to keep your beautiful lungs beautifully clean. So don't allow these particles which you cannot see. They're invisible, they're tiny, they're 10 to the -9. So tiny, tiny, tiny. They will get through your nose and mouth and into your lungs. So what you do is say, I wish to keep my lungs as clean as a whistle. I'm going to have minimal exposure and not go out. I'm not going to go jogging in this poor quality air. Poor quality air over a prolonged period of time reduces your life expectancy.
And for those that have been, I mean, here we've been exposed to it for about 25, 26 days now. Does the body, for the little bits that we have been exposed, will the body kind of eventually, hopefully just heal itself and we can heal from this time period?
Yes. So going on what we know already about smokers' lungs is a heavy smoker who gives up smoking can have their lungs in perfect condition, and their risk of cancer, etc., almost drops and eliminates over a period of time. So similarly, when you've been exposed to poor quality air over this short period of time, 30 days is not a long period, I expect full recovery. But my point is, why expose yourself to anything if you can avoid it?
Absolutely, that's great advice. So just to recap, create a clean room. So I personally created a small room in my house. I put my filters in there. I spend 90% of my time in there. I just come out for a little bit. Although there is, my home should have clean air generally, but that smoke does get into your house. So that's great advice, Dr. Bharat. Thank you so much for taking the time to explain that to us. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.